welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime friends and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons and Dragons. And we have everybody! Yay! As Flitty might say. Previously, it's a little bit of a shame that some folks missed this because it was kind of the grand clusterfuck of a denouement, or climactic scene or whatever. But point is that in their attempts to get let the Protector Aasimar of the settlement just on the outskirts of Anbir some semblance of freedom. Oh, lots of mess happened, including arrest, having to basically have Tag charged with theft, whole bunches of various bits of nonsense, and it ended up in a duel with under an anti-magic field, paladin / warlock versus fighter. And superiority dice are bullshit. I apologize for that. I mean, I'm actually massively proud of the build, but I still apologize for that. So Remy got her ass kicked. Darwin made a very compelling speech, and before we could really tell if Tag was actually going to do anything with that, because apparently it was reaching him, his second, Jessamy, kind of poisoned him to death, and then started with her and her followers attempting a massacre of the Protector Aasimar, because apparently, well, that's the thing. That's part of why they're going to be talking to her later. Nobody even asked why she did that. But the solution came eventually, as even through the anti-magic field, Hazel and Remy managed to get some kind of word to their respective god or god adjacent patron, and next thing you know, a very large gold dragon landed on the roof of the tower, destroyed the anti-magic field, generating runes at the top of it, and Ziriel also turned up to just be, I really need to see what is happening with this right now, which is probably just as well, because after Jessamy started the whole mess, she rogue, incredibly sneaky, hide and went up to the tower, and in a thing that's I probably shouldn't be proud of because it was really gruesome, but it was also a fairly intense moment when Remy, Ava, and Darwin charged up to the room they were keeping Alice in. It really was Jessamy, blood to the elbows, blood all over the room. One hand knife, other hand chunk of meat. You want your heart so badly? Take it. Yeah. So that was pretty atrocious. Remy effectively one-shotted her, because when you get a paladin dumping all of their resources into one attack, what was said was, does the word trisected mean anything to you?
Chunky salsa rule is real.
Yeah, except they did kind of leave the halfling sisters, Tansy, Pansy, and Marigold to clean up the body. Of course, then they also sent Alana to go pick up whatever remained of the body, because people are going to want to chat with this individual. For the moment, the Protector Aasimar are by and large resurrected. Any that got perma-killed, as it were. That was partially what Ziriel was there for. Also because Ava's immediate reaction to seeing Alice basically dissected was to call to Ziriel. That was that handled, and Ava's got some thinking to do. But point being that both the protector aasimar that were born protectors and the few that changed into them from Scourge, from the just for the act of trying to protect these people when Jessamy's crew started attempting to slaughter them. Um, they're staying with the governor at the moment. Uh, at the very least until about 4 p.m. on the day this actual session starts, because uh, Governor Beherzet wants a word. Because Governor Beherzet was called into this, and really the only way you could do anything about it because of that fucking anti-magic field was just be a dragon. And so now there are going to be some words. Lots of words. But before that, there was a trip to the local bathhouse for almost everybody. The only exception is Barnabus, because he had a date. And it went pretty well. And he's been invited to home cooked dinner in a couple of days' time. Um, and when asked, "Is that subtext?" Barnabas went, "I don't know." Alice said, "I do." Yes. In fact, Barnabas, being as intelligent as he is, might reason that there's probably books a bit more specific on uh, the food and gift related love languages in, as in Anbir. They do that. And they're going to be looking at bookstores anyway because cookbooks. But yeah, Faraday came out of that with less massage and more scale polish, so she's sparkly. I mean, the whole thing really was this combination, Spirited Away bathhouse and really upmarket spa. So it was nice. It was fun. And following morning, after a bit of a lie-in and a very large breakfast, um, everybody went down to the docks to try to find Hazel's biological father, who apparently is away on a trip and will be back in a few days. But you guys are probably staying a few days anyway, if for no other reason than let Barnabas have his little romance. Well, everybody deserves a bit of happy now and then. But yeah, currently we left off with them uh, sitting in a tavern, finishing off lunch, and then heading just to have a look at Hazel's bio dad's workplace. I'm not sure why they necessarily wanted to look at it, but if they want to look at it, then they want to look at it. So
At least seeing the place, just to make sure everything is on as it reads as okay. Yeah, this is not something that's just about to vanish or whatnot.
I don't think things are that impermanent here, but okay. Reach
And
Hierophant.
also making sure I know what it looks like, just in general.
Oh, and you got. I am assuming you got a description. You did. It was the most
Yeah, very rough one.
yeah. What you got was it's a little thatched cottage. It's the least. It's the most residential looking non-residential building in the area.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just hitting my curiosity button, so I want to see.
No, that's fine. I mean, we're still probably gonna have a little bit of time to kill, but if there was anything you wanted to send back to Hearthhome with the kids, because he said that you would probably need to bring the key.
Mhm.
We probably don't want to spend too long on that, just so we have some time to. And I know Alana gave you some farming related notes, but I can see what else is available.
Yeah, collecting things for home would definitely have to be stapled to the end of our list now.
Well, I mean, we've got a few hours, and we're wandering in that general direction anyway. So, we go past the building, we have a peek, we do some bits and pieces, and we make sure we have everything you're gonna want to send home.
Yes.
ready to send.
Yes.
So, everybody cool? Everybody good?
Me.
Because apparently, there's another one. Uh, Dress code is apparently going to be fancy. How are you guys on fancy?
We've got the stuff from Agraf.
Yeah,
It's
we've got
medium
stuff from
fancy.
your wedding.
I mean, I'm not wearing my wedding dress because I think that might be
No,
a
of
bit
course not.
much. I am the only one in this entire group who actually just made sure to get a dress or two to wear to fancy occasions.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're
I'd
bad
Did
at
probably
think of
that.
it.
still, I'd probably still have mine, wouldn't I?
Well, yeah, it's just, is it fancy enough, I think, is probably the question. Um, Given the noise made about that place, maybe we should just look at the Street of Love and Beauty for you guys. I mean,
I don't mind.
I kind of had to get all my stuff sorted out in Egref because wings sort of stretch a little. Uh, th- it took some doing to accommodate those, and I'm not sure how well tailors here would manage it in a few hours.
Yep.
So, come on. Gets up and kisses Remy on top of the head as she passes by, then lifts Hazel out of the chair and I'm assuming we're going because Alice was smooched, lift, and started heading for the door.
Following.
Yeah, I'm just following. That was I got picked up and moved.
She knows you. And yeah, literally just a few buildings down from the stacks to describe it for Dawn. You know when you have cookbooks of a lot of different sizes and you have to kind of stack them and they're kind of all over the place? That's what that
Yeah.
building looks like.
Okay.
They kind of built this structure with no real regard for keeping it in a straight line of any kind.
Ramshackle ass looking.
No, it's just, I mean, that's the thing. It's solid looking. It's just
Disorderly.
oddly stacked.
Looks like it should be ramshackle, but somehow isn't.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, only a few doors down from that is the kind of place you'd actually see in Hearthhome. It's just a little little wood building, little thatched roof. Of course, it is situated right next to a fairly large building that is probably a workshop of some kind. But the main building, which literally just says shipwright, apparently he needs no introduction, just looks like somebody's little fairy tale cottage.
Clarity is peering through the windows.
Right up next to her, Scooby stacking.
Well, thankfully for you both, the windows are fairly clean. Not so great is he does seem to have closed curtains on the inside.
Aww.
Well, no details, but at least we know what the outside is.
Yeah, if you were peering, I have a feeling that some of that might overlook benches that have like plans, blueprints, whatever, and they don't want people to be peeking in at them.
Yeah, that's fair.
As you're doing that, you hear this fairly loud kind of noise, and going at a remarkable clip for something of that size and limb structure is you guys know how big stellar sea lions are?
Oh Jesus!
Oh, boy.
What?
Oh boy.
Those are large.
Yeah, and one of those is just flap, 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 flap down the alley.
Clarity's following.
What is the hell is that?
That is a sea lion. Well, I mean, no, actually, I think given the size of that one's a sea bear.
Great, love that.
And currently being chased by a Triton individual who's going a little bit too fast for you to be able to actually see anything like gender. Just kind of screaming, Akka, will you put that down? And then sploosh, because you're not very far from the actual water, so it really is just sea bear sploosh, Triton sploosh.
What did we just see?
Given the complete lack of reaction from everyone around, just another day on the docks.
Mm.
That is an entire line of inquiry I want to go into, but we have things to do.
We have
Yeah.
things to do, Hazel.
Yeah, but I mean, at least Big Clarity got to see a sea bear. I'm sorry you didn't get to pet the sea bear.
I wanted to talk to it.
I don't even think their companion could get them to listen. So I'm not sure that would have availed you much anyway, but
Still would have been adorable.
more than likely. But, and you want to have a look and see what the regular docks actually look like?
You know what? Yeah, let's go.
And it really is only a couple of blocks down to the actual docks, and what you end up seeing is, I mean, there's sort of a loading dock area on one end that seems to be people coming up from underwater and bringing out baskets of what you guys know is produce. But a little ways out, on a rock formation that probably protects the sort of bay from the harshest of the weather. You know how in San Francisco where you have the sea lions all over the docks?
Oh boy.
Well,
Are there more of them?
but stellars. Sea bears.
Oh, that's loud. That is. The sea lions are loud. Stellars are
Well, currently they're not making.
barking, but the.
That's the thing. They're not making a whole lot of noise at present, but they do kind of look at you as you approach the dock, and probably if you do, just kind of stop, like, what the.
You are all very big.
And that's when they start making that noise.
I don't know what you're saying. Clarity, help!
Can't speak with animals.
Currently, currently that noise is apparently the sea bear rendition of some of the filthier of the Musqueam drinking songs.
You have lovely singing voices.
Beautiful.
It's quite nice.
They all turn around. Each and every one of these massive motherfuckers turns around and looks at Clarity.
Oh. Should we be concerned?
Yeah, they're all diving
Don't know yet.
and swimming for the immediate bit of dock.
I'm going to get up at least behind Clarity to basically act as a living brace in case we get bum rush tackled.
Well, given that you are to be getting that kind of close, you're standing on an actual dock. I'm going to have to ask, how am I going to work this? Yeah, it's going to be Clarity making a dex save at disadvantage because she is weighed down by a hazel right now.
Oh no.
Hazel says,
Backfired.
I'm helping.
Oh boy.
15.
Yeah, we're talking at least a dozen very, very massive sea lions. And,
We're in a pile, aren't we?
it's not so much that. They're swimming for this bit of dock, and you know how a seesaw works?
Oh, good God.
Oh no.
Okay.
Where are we going?
Oh god.
Well, you're, effectively flying a good 11 feet into the water. Both of you. Whee!
Oh no.
Oh, we did not hear that, Clarity.
My story!
Do we see
Wow.
that, right?
It's kind of hard to miss.
Yeah.
They all wind up swimming back to their bit of rock, and they go back to singing.
Can Hazel swim in
It's only a
Oh,
breastplate.
serious?
I'm going to say yes. She's got the strength for
Okay.
it.
Like, I was not prepared for soggy today.
Do you want to swim back to the dock?
Trying to paddle in that direction.
Yeah, I mean you've got strength, and it is just a breastplate. You are fine. Clarity given is going to need to make an athletics check.
Oh boy.
I wouldn't if you didn't have a negative strength modifier.
3.
Yeah, no.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
Hazel might kind of want to tow Clarity as well.
Reverse
Because,
course, going back, fetching girlfriend.
at which point, at this point, Alice is, oh, for fuck's sake, flies over. And as Hazel pulls Clarity's head out of the water, she just grabs Clarity under the underarms and whoop.
Paddling back.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes the sea bears are bitches.
Make a note of once I dry off my notebook.
Technically, you're still using that.
It's an enduring one, but I figure it's a little soggy.
Weirdly enough, when you take it out to look at it, no, it's not.
Okay. Free notes. I'm
Sea
slowly
bears
getting
are
the bow.
bitches.
I pulled bow out of hair and I'm rigging that out while this is happening.
Alice prestidigitates the ribbon first. You can do you yourself, but if you're not working enough to just prestidigitate the damn bow, you need it sorted before you can get brain on anything else.
I'm just gonna lean over to lean over by Clarity while I'm doing that to watch Clarity's inevitable sketch bonanza.
It's right next to the picture of the orca. Like, there's a list of bitches, sea bitches.
Maybe one day you will publish a book. It'll be a trilogy: land bitches, sea bitches, and air bitches.
The bitches seem like they'd be mostly dragons right
I
now.
was just thinking the same thing.
I am sorry you did not spend any time in the Alamavere Wastes.
Nope.
Spine blights are bitches.
Yeah,
Uh,
remember the vine blights and the twig things? Evil cactus with the needles paralyzed. It was awful.
I mean,
Oh.
from what I hear from you guys, cockatrices are bitches.
Oh yes, I think I've heard that story.
That
I really
led to
didn't want to be
interesting.
lawn furniture.
You know, you wouldn't be furniture, you'd be ornamentation.
I did sit on you a bit in the wagon.
Yeah, though at least then you were still a little stunned by things.
Yeah.
Umber hulks are
Hopefully I was
bitches.
comfy.
Burrowing maws are bitches.
Getting swallowed by those sucks.
Purple worms are double bitches.
Take the burrowing maw thing, multiply it by purple.
At least lucrative. For
Abishai also bitches.
I kind of felt bad for Bitey.
I don't know. Does that count as land bitches or book 4 hell bitches?
Yes?
Fair point.
Oh, look, we broke
I mean,
the
wouldn't
elf
that be?
again.
I guess we need fire bitches in there somewhere.
It's just in the
Well,
Ryland's
couple
notebook.
lists is
There's
easy
just
for
a
that one.
tier list of bitches.
No, because, I mean, you couldn't just have the 4 classical elements, because at some point you'd need to add shadow bitches.
Right, the thing in the... Those things are effed up! I don't even know what that was. All I know was chewing on...
Don't worry, Ryland. Jefferson doesn't count.
That's not what I was worried about, but that is still reassuring.
Well, I mean, unless you consider Jefferson to be female, in which case, a female dog, it's kind of literally, but...
No.
Well, I don't
We're
like
down
to
the rabbit
assume!
hole.
That is fair. That is fair.
What were you worried about?
Oh, just being reminded of some of the weirder, shadowy shit I was seeing while we were chasing down White Frostpunk. What was? God, just blanking on the dragon name.
Varidel.
While we were chasing down Varidel. Some of the
Uh,
more disturbing things I was seeing.
to be fair, that's not shadow bitches, that's black shit bitches.
Ah, that's its own category. I see.
Yeah, I don't. While you seem to have adopted your powers somewhat from the Shadowfell, I don't think you've technically spent that much time in the Shadowfell.
Not yet.
Every so often, Hazel tries to talk about it, and she winds up squeaking lampreys with feet.
That was correct, because they do look like lampreys with feet. What did they say those were called? As like a whole group? Because there's a whole bunch of them.
From what you guys mentioned to me, it was the Wretched.
Feet lampreys.
Not just those, like everything else. Because
The one that-
knowing
the
our
one-
luck, the
the
thing that
one-
was chewing on you, the bigger one,
That
was the same group.
That was the Hungry. Again, if memory serves me.
Yeah.
I did some reading, and apparently some of them will literally try to hug you to death because their loneliness made them twisted. I really didn't like the Shadowfell very much, but at least I didn't get the lampreys with feet.
I didn't like that very much either. So hopefully we don't have to go there again.
Hopefully.
Yeah, let's not talk about it too much. I know too much about epic narrative to know that, to not think that if we talk about it too much, we will end up going back there.
Yeah, let's just go along.
Manifest
Oh,
it to be
no.
something.
Yeah. I'm assuming by this point, everybody who's got soaked is now prestidigitated and is heading in the general direction of All of a sudden, there's a thing. Hang on. We've all got different things we need to do, or at least some people need something fancy enough for a dinner out. Barnabus, it might be worth looking and seeing if there's any shops that do advice on the love languages of Anbir, just so that you're not completely at sea. Sorry to bring it up.
No, I was already
No,
planning on it.
no, I was the at sea accidental pun. I didn't want to bring up for those two. It's fine.
Oh,
You, I'm just helping. It's what sisters do.
thank you.
But we also need to get any produce farming bits out of the way, so that they can go back with any kids who are going to Hearthhome.
Yep.
But then again, I think it's really only Hazel that needs to be there for the bits and pieces. I mean, I don't know if anybody wants to, split up into smaller groups or how anybody wants to do this.
Do we split so we can get as much covered at once as possible?
Probably the best idea.
Because we're just kind of running around the city dealing with stuff.
Yeah. And to be fair, we're all going to be more or less in line of sight of each other because a lot of us are sticking to the Street of Love and Beauty for at least parts of it. And yeah, how many days has it been approximately since I got here? Something like out of character, something like 3 or 4.
4?
Yeah, might be by now. Yeah, you're coming with me.
Okay.
I guess splitting is definitely happening.
Yep.
Going shopping.
All of the shopping.
First window-based shenanigans.
Yeah. Just to very quickly, because with Remy's it won't take particularly long. She's probably going to help with something moderately fancy, but not,
Ostentatious.
I was going to say cupcake, but that too. But while they're looking in shop windows for the kind of thing that Remy might actually like, Alice stops in front of what appears to be some kind of gallery, and opens the door and gestures Remy inside.
Remy will go inside.
And Alice follows her in, and the proprietor of the establishment, Half-orc, is surprisingly made up for a half-orc. You don't tend to see them doing a whole lot of the, makeup, coiffure, etc. But it looks up and goes, "Oh, I wasn't sure if I was going to be expecting to see you after some of the brouhaha I've been hearing about. Yes, it is ready. I have to say, I think it's one of my better pieces. We haven't displayed it yet as per our arrangements, so if you'd both like to come with me," and gets up from behind the counter and heads for a sort of a painted screen in the back. This particular artist style seems to be portraiture. There's a few known, famous people. You're pretty sure that one is sort of off in the corner as a younger Twillian Miranda, but mostly it's families, couples, that kind of thing. And steps around behind the screen, and when Remy comes there, it's the seems to be the almost finished but not on display yet. And the painting she uncovers is that bit of art I commissioned, the wedding portrait.
Aww.
Yes. The bargain that was made is that I may display this in my shop, provided that I provide a copy for your Guldendale residence, your parents in Belrace, and a couple of those little image lockets.
Yes, that is very fair.
I'll say it's just kind of leaning against the wall with a grin. Um, but does add we will have to actually look for lockets to enchant for that one. But I did want to show this one what had been, and the Hofwork turns to me, and you don't mind it being on display. I mean,
Nope.
it is one of my better works, I have to say. Then again, the subject matter alone.
She is a very good subject matter, yes. Probably it is very impressive.
But it's also the contrast. I mean, never mind the classic tall small couple, but and Alice says, maybe I appreciate some of the art, the artistic review speak, but I think I think Ree might kind of blush herself a little bit ridiculous. She's
Hmm.
clearly just
Hmm.
trying to avoid any any statement about how good she looks in that painting. So I'm gonna have to work with her on that while we're while we're looking for lockets. But I'll have the prints for the two places ready for when you come in. Thank you very much. This nudges Remy a little bit past the curtain and out, and stops just outside the door and just.
That was a very nice surprise.
Well, I didn't expect to actually be gone quite as long as I was, but yeah, I know that the Hearth parents have footage of the wedding, but this seemed like a place. So while we're
Yes,
looking for an outfit for you, we should also look for lockets. And to summarize it a little bit, uh, do you have any approximate idea what Remy might go for, or would she just let Alice pick something?
uh, I do not have anything super specific. No.
I had a feeling not, but basically what Alice would nudge Remy towards, because she knows that Remy is more along the trousers line than anything else. You get the kind of a really nice pair of black silk slacks, blue-gray sort of, not really low-cut top, but just little scoop neck thing, and a short jacket over top, because obviously it's winter and it's still cold for people who feel it. So it's not a suit, and it's not a pantsuit, but it is a fancy trouser silk top arrangement. It's probably one of the most flimsy items of clothing that Remy owns, with the exception of that top that she inherited from Alice and the piece of lingerie that Alice has also thrown in her general direction. But yeah, Alice just, well, it's not for every day. And,
Definitely not. It is nice.
well, he probably needs something more than just a suit or two. We're going to be celebrated heroes, I'm afraid.
Yes, it's going to be something.
Well, don't worry, you have a fashion consultant on permanent call.
For which I am infinitely grateful.
I'm grateful for a lot more than that. Smooch and then find something relatively pretty and matching for lockets in a kind of a. I cannot wait to show the others this. Just trying to imagine the noise that some of them are going to make.
Oh, yes.
Meanwhile, Barnabus, if he asks around, because he is a smart Minotaur and he does ask things, there's actually 2 or 3 shops dedicated to finding, to people who will find the appropriate gifts for dinners of that kind of. Basically, it's an advisor on the love languages of various places, and obviously including Anbir because they live here.
He's gonna make a beeline for that.
Well, like I say, there's 3 of them. The
Mm.
one that he was pointed towards was turns out to be run by a dwarf named Svetlana.
Well, if that's the one he was pointed to, that's
Yeah.
where he'll go. At least first.
Yeah, I mean, she's edging towards the elderly for dwarf. And honestly, looks like she'd be a lot more comfortable in armor than anything else. But she is surprisingly knowledgeable about that sort of thing. But looks you up and down as you come in and says, "Okay, we will start with the situation. What is it?"
There's a good 10 seconds of just fidgeting first, and then
While
well-
the 10 seconds of fidgeting has happened, she reaches under desk, pulls out shot glass, bottle of fair. I mean, this is Anbir. Consider the quality of the dark rum that gets poured into that shot glass.
Ooh. Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, and pours it, shoves it in Barnabas's direction while he's still doing the fidgeting.
He grabs it, he throws it back, and there's just a moment of, oh, okay, that was good. Thank you. So, yeah, I got invited on a second date the next day or so, and she invited me, but to her place for home cooking, and I want to make the best impression as possible, and I don't want to screw this up.
Okay, what is it that you want to say to her?
That I really like her, and I'm open to whatever she wants to do, wherever she wants to take it.
And I'm sorry, I hear things. You are adventuresome,
Yes.
but you might end up coming back through from time to time.
Yes.
Okay, do you want just advice for the gifting or advice on how to read what she puts in front of you in the meal?
Oh, both, please.
Well, if she puts before you a stew or a casserole,
Mm-hmm.
this is indication of being quite happy for a longer term commitment whenever you are in the immediate area. Simply because, you see, it takes long to cook them.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's chicken stew is reasonably interested in something longer term. Beef or mutton, it means, well, similar if roasts. If does I'm assuming this individual has a name and then and a vocation.
Yes. And I'm
Out
sorry.
of character,
I
Shuri.
No, it's just I was like I butchered the pronunciation the last time. I want to make sure he got it right this time.
Yeah.
It's her name is Cherie, and she's actually
Ooh, the governor's head
Yes.
secretary.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know how I still can't believe that my luck on this one.
If she makes for you her pulled pork, you have made the best possible of impressions. Especially if she accompanies with her sour cream mashed potatoes,
Mm-hmm.
her sourdough rolls,
Mm-hmm.
and her chocolate bourbon pecan pie for dessert.
There's just a moment where just the jaw drops just to the oh.
these are everybody has specialities, and we pride ourselves on them. This the grapevine says is one of hers. So definitely flowers. You're going to want.
Mhm.
It zips into the back, and you hear a certain amount of rustle, rustle, shuffle, shuffle, and calls back. I am making for you a practice bouquet. You will buy the flowers fresh upon the day,
Okay.
and comes out with. And it doesn't look like the big fancy uh, Valentine's Day roses thing.
Hmm.
Mostly it's got a sort of a purples and blues thing. You've got forget me nots, a couple of irises, um, some rather large violets, and
Hmm.
for a bit of added color, some marigolds. So it's this is the kind of thing you want for. I am sorry to have to be being away, but when I am back in the area, I would like to remake your acquaintance. Um, you will probably also wish to, if this is a second date and you will be having to leave for uh, potentially dangerous adventures. It scribbles out, it's almost like a prescription pad. Um, you will go to Mark's
Hmm.
and you will get a selection of the fruit truffles in this configuration.
You just immediately must memorize right
No,
now. Keeping this with me, but
yes, you take that with you.
thank you.
Yes, and just to be aware, if is baked fish, you have fucked up.
Good to know. Thank you.
It's because it does not take very much time, and
Hmm.
it is the amount of time and care that you put into the thing that is indicative of how impressed you are with the person you are inviting. This is why the pulled pork, you see, the way she cooks it is all day.
Gotcha.
I mean, again, with the rolls and the everything. I think
Hmm.
that is everything for a second. I mean, it is a second date, but it is also somewhat more intense simply because you
Hmm.
have world savings to do.
Yep, that's definitely, unfortunately, well, it's the case. Yes.
Well, if you are very, very serious about this individual,
Hmm.
there is something else that I might suggest. There are some portrait artists.
Hmm.
You know these little lockets that soldiers will send to their families
Hmm.
with a picture, a silent image picture of them. If I mean, get it only for and only give it if things are going very, very well. This is a response to the pulled pork. This,
Gotcha.
but you get one of those and you give to her as so as not to be forgotten.
Hmm. That's perfect. Thank you.
Not at all. And it's the second almost prescription pad for one of the local portrait places. You'll have to bring your own locket, but you will find something that suits. For Cherie is rowan branches, irises as from is from these, and quill and candle. Those are
Yeah.
the themes you might want for her. Is
Hmm.
is is what her they're the kind of things they would try to implement into her marriage mark.
Gotcha.
We all have them even if we are not married. It is a thing that reflects us. and those who are wed, they blend them together.
I see. Okay.
That's why you'll see people with interesting patterns on their clothing. It is our version of wedding rings.
I have noticed that. That makes a lot of sense.
In any case, I will add the consultancy fee to the price of the bouquet when you come in for it. Seriously? You want to pick it up while you are on your way to date because you want them to be as fresh as possible.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Thank you.
And if you are curious, we also have a book that gives
Yes,
more
please.
generalities. Oop. And there goes Anthony's. Dawn, sorry.
Her computer turned off. So
Oh
she's
dear.
restarting.
Yeah, so it's yes, the book is 5 silvers. It slides it. It's small, but it's thick. It's
Mm.
It's one of those ones you can kind of keep in a pocket and then just. I'm assuming he pays for it.
Immediately.
Yeah, and
And it goes in the same pocket that he's keeps the old patrolman's notepad.
well, I will see you before your date, and I wish you the best of luck then.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure making your acquaintance.
Likewise. Do not dress too fancy. She sees fancy all the time. Be comfortable.
Gotcha.
But, you know, tidy and
Meets
comfortable.
meet good standards, but don't go over the top with it. Got it. Got it.
Well, I mean, she has the people coming in from the halls of justice all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What you look like is not as important as who you are, though. I understand that most of your party have gone to the bathhouse, and if you want to be doing that, we do have a few satyrs in the immediate area, and so they do have specialties of horn and hoof polishing.
It has been literal years. Thank you. Yes, I'm absolutely.
Have fun. And how quickly can we do the rest of you? I'm going to. I mean, I don't even know how the rest of you guys broke up. I mean, apart from Hazel and Clarity being joined at the hip
Well-
as per usual.
Mhm.
The one thing I was going to say was just on a whim, Darvin looks over at Rylan, kind of looks him up and down, looks down the street of and goes, gestures to Rylan. May I? And it,
And
Kenneth like legitimately thinks about it for a second.
Flitty quietly and Sylvan from the scarf. Just to make sure you understand, because he's not being very clear. I think he wants to take you shopping.
No, I got that actually. Impressively.
He's okay. He's been learning from the singy lady.
and at the look of at the look of confusion and concern, I've been watching Alice say, and I am a tailor's son, so
You know what? You know what? Sure, why not? Let's do this.
and you can say no. It's okay. I won't be offended.
Good to know.
At which point he lets out a little whoa.
I'm.
Well, off they go.
Yeah, I'm gonna hand to fate for this one. Be kind to the Darwin.
Oh, he's so much lag on my end. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Yeah, I did. It takes a few tries just because Rylan has never dealt with tailors in his life. And it's like the being measured in and of itself for anything really, to size is a bit awkward
Mhm.
for somebody who has never actually thought about their inseam.
Oh no,
Definitely,
the
yes.
poor elf.
But eventually, you do wind up with something that actually suits an elven wild fanciness. A wood elf elven wild fanciness, just in very different materials, because you would have used uh, linens and leathers, and in this case, you have hard-wearing cottons of almost the denim variety and silk. And they've managed to incorporate the scarf into the outfit. And you can tell from looking at these tailors that they've heard about you from the everybody thinking you looked really awesome.
Exactly. That's exactly
And
what I was thinking in my head.
and they were absolutely delighted to be able
Yeah, I
to
insisted on that.
have as canvas.
I'm more impressed that they managed to work the scarf in than anything else. I'll be upfront.
Well, this is going to be a part of our I
Right.
mean, this is practically an autumn Eladrin line.
Oh,
And you will be our muse. Thank you.
I suppose you're welcome in that respect. Still confused.
Yeah. They deep they
Darwin is beaming and is very, very thankful that Ryan let him get away with doing that.
and they deep discount for I mean, okay, given the materials they're using, it's still like 10 gold for the two of you, 5 gold apiece. So I don't know if Darwin is insisting on paying because he's the one who did the dragging. I know Darwin well enough to know it's a potential.
Yes.
Yes, I see. There you go. So I can see them start to tell how much it costs, and Darwin just being like, "No, just tell me." And so yeah, that gets
And I'll give him at least like 2 or 3 extra just because of the work quality and the appreciation.
so. And you, meanwhile, get something that's very much in your. They managed to get Valor Bard, and they incorporate your purple coat into the whole thing as well. So it looks just more fancy, swashbuckling-ish, debonair. It's like Ethan, you've read the first couple of October Day books. Think Tybalt,
Oh no.
but with the coat. The coat, the poet shirt, the leather trousers.
Oh my god, I actually had that outfit back in New York.
are you okay?
I shit you not, I actually did. I actually
No,
did.
it doesn't surprise me. But moving.
Those leather trousers sucked sometimes.
Yeah, well, thankfully in this case, these are designed by. It's very, very good quality leather, and there's clearly been some of the Egref innovations in at least a couple of places, so they fit remarkably comfortably. Why do I suddenly see this as, because I know it's going to be Hazel and Clarity, but why do I see now Ava and Farida going shopping together? Probably because that's about the pair that's left. Do you guys want me to just indicate that you found something and move on?
I don't mind either way.
Farida basically, well, looking for a dress, but specifically because most of her clothes are like refitted from being kid her. She wants something shiny, turquoise, adult, and shows her off.
Okay, hang on. I just want to check something. Oh yeah. When Farida is going through her resized clothing pockets, she will find uh, uh weirdly it's been tucked in such a way that she hasn't noticed it for quite some while from the looks. It's a bag that I mean it looks relatively empty, which is probably why it hasn't been noticed, but this small sack contains 3 platinum and a note. Dear Farida, I know you're going to want your own clothes. Consider this a shopping fund. You also, please make sure to show Zana and Oscar whatever you get when you get back. Signed, Twilly and Miranda. So yeah, you see Farida kind of thinking about her current funds and reaching into her pocket. And wait a minute, and then seeing that.
Yeah. Well,
So
well, yeah.
Ava
Basically,
sees speechless Farida.
uh,
You okay?
shows her the note.
Why does this not surprise me?
Uh, uh,
Well, you wind up with a few good outfits that a couple for every day, a couple that are more. They kind of have the general look of the magic users' robes while still being a more form-fitting dress. But when very Dragonborn specific tailors get a look at you, there's a certain amount of, they stick to the blues and the turquoises and the rest of it with once a couple of things have been explained, the occasional little lightning bolt design on sleeves and things along those lines. But the dress, the for dinner dress, is very much the Dragonborn idea of um, this is off the shoulderish kind of thing, but again, whether it's through very, very good quality dyes or they've had someone from Egref helping or both, but the entire thing is, you know how when you get storm clouds that are not so much black but a very bruised blue? It the color swirls a bit like that, and every so often there's a little pst of lightning on various spots. And that whole thing, the couple of every day, the couple of adventuring, and the dress will eat the 3 platinum, but
yeah.
looks worth it, honestly.
Oh yeah. Just like totally speechless after seeing the dress, clutching it.
Aww.
Ah,
And I figure Ava, at the very least, knows how to do bits of shopping. I mean, this is probably the closest she's come to anything like the tailors that used to do her dresses back home.
Hmm.
But honestly, I think probably by this point it feels more weird than anything else. But at the very least, they stick with the more Equitas fashions, which is a bit more. It's less the bustles and the corsets and the puffy skirts and the rest of it. This is stuff you can actually move in. So Ava will wind up in uh, formal-ish evening gown, moderately slinky, and the only reason she can move in it is the slit in the skirt that comes up to about mid-thigh on the outside. But the skirt's not really, really tight, so you don't really necessarily notice that
Hmm.
unless you're running or similar. It's just an extra aid to movement. And I'm assuming that Hazel and Clarity have got their own bits and pieces covered.
Clarity is going to be looking for a form-fitting, very feminine suit with a tie.
This is the Street of Love and Beauty. You can definitely do that. And honestly, given how all of you are parading up and down the Street of Love and Beauty looking for things, at some point you will all have seen the new portrait that has taken pride of place in that one shop, in that one studio's window.
I'm probably in the same place where that suit, where Clarity's suit happens. I'm basically going to break out bits and pieces of the Dapper stuff and say, is there anything you guys can do like this?
You will, oddly enough, wind up with something that's a bit more streamlined, but closer to the kind of thing Ava would have worn in the manor and anything else. It's Elizabeth Swan wear.
Yes.
Goodness gracious.
That is freaking hilarious.
Of course, when Hazel is apparently enjoying that, look at Clarity and do you want a more piratical cut of jacket, ma'am?
Yes.
And yeah, you get at this point you guys are rolling in it. You probably wind up with the suit as well, but you also get you also get Will Turner as pirate dude from the first film, but a little bit flashier yet. So you have Will and Elizabeth. It's a thing.
It's just escalated exponentially, and it's amazing.
You even get the hat. They've managed to give room for your horns as well on that one. So
Wanted one.
and well, now you have one. And since we've gone a little bit past the usual break time, we'll have discussions about any bits that of stuff to send home and deal with the meeting with the governor when we come back. And we're back, meeting up probably not too far from, well, actually, to be fair, you probably have to drop off some of your parcels because you're probably not going to want to carry around various bits of wardrobe when you're going to see the governor. So, meeting back up at the Bone Orchard Plantation House. And as I say, but probably all of you have at least passed by that portrait. And I'm assuming that Hazel has picked up a reasonable variety of seeds and things, as well as the various notes Alana managed to collect for her.
If there was time, I would have swung by the place that I helped resolve the issue of.
Yeah.
As I recall, they had a whole druid back end theming sort of deal.
Yeah, and to be fair, mostly coffee shop, but she can
Still potentially useful things. Coffee
Well.
for Mama for one.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It's a cafe, not a shop. That one's on the
Mm.
Street of Love and Beauty, not on the street of Bounty. But she can once you're there, and she's supplied you with the coffee and some absolutely remarkable banana nut muffins.
Well, hail the muffins!
With a couple of extra for. These are apparently specifically for Barnabus because apparently the Fearbolg lady who runs it talks to Cherie occasionally, and apparently the Minotaur likes baked goods has got around. But she does manage to point you at the best shops for things like coffee for Hearthhome, coffee beans. You imagine what they do with roast coffee in this place. Um, the exact same chocolate shop that that Barnabus was sent to pick up treats for Cherie. They do specialize predominantly in fruit truffles, but overall, it's you know those really high-end chocolaterie?
Mm-hmm.
That gourmet chocolate emporium.
Dear gods.
I given some of Clarity's sweet tooth, I kind of see.
Yeah. Yeah, there's an entire box just obtained just for clarity specifically.
Aw. But yeah, with
I am this close to haste tier pinballing around.
but assuming that there's the various bits and pieces that you probably can't get everything you want because you don't know how many kids are going to be available to carry them, and it's got to be something that gets through a door in 6 seconds. So,
Yeah.
but you know, there's enough for various seeds. You've got notes on how you can best make the soil work for various of them. So, eventually, you guys meet up back at the plantation house. Um, some carrying more in the way of box and bag than others.
I have care packages.
Clarity will have picked up a tiramisu for Twilly and Miranda.
Oh, yeah. Alice is like, I'm doing care package shopping tomorrow when we got a little bit more in the way of time because I have a feeling we're gonna have to blow through Belarus at some point, and when we do, I'm gonna have things for the in-laws. Yeah, I'm gonna say that on top of the various bits and pieces, Alice A thought to pick up a couple of cookbooks specifically for Twilly and Miranda, just on the basis that she wasn't sure Hazel would A, remember, or B, really be able to carry them. So when Hazel comes in with, I have care packages, Alice A just holds up like 3 cookbooks.
More for the care packages.
Yep. And I'm sorry, I'm good. I have to ask for a deck save because she's currently balancing them on top of Hazel's head because she doesn't have hands free.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Me versus Dex saves is an entire thing. What the hell? My session expired. Hang on.
Well, while
God damn. Roll20 just decided to be an ass. Gonna
well,
be in
well,
2
yeah,
seconds.
well, that's while we're waiting on that. You do have Alice asking. So, how did it go, Faraday? You look thrilled as hell.
I like what I got.
Good.
She's not clutching it anymore, and I'll
Would
just
Ava
leave
have
it as a
seen what
surprise to
she
see.
was trying
Ava
to
probably would have seen. She probably would have gone
Yeah.
secondary adjustment.
Hazel is trying to keep upright and falls over.
Oh no.
I thought you had better posture than that. Sorry.
I'm a klutz. You all know this.
Yeah, but I didn't think that klutz and bad posture were synonymous. Sorry.
Balance is not a thing I am good at. Help.
She just literally picks Hazel up. Maybe we should practice.
Possibly.
That's Ava, back me up here. That's how you practice your posture and your balance.
Yeah, that's how I did. That's how I did when I was younger. Yeah.
Well, I obviously never did it, but I read about it. So, but no, Faraday, can't wait to see what you came up with because you do look absolutely thrilled.
yeah, I found something that would work for our purposes as well. So all
It,
good on that front.
Hazel, how many shops did you clear out?
You see, I want to give you an exact number, but I don't have an exact number, so I'm just going to answer yes.
Oh lord.
Of course.
Well, it's to be fair, it's not as much as it might be because it feels like she didn't use the bag of holding for any of it.
True.
Yeah.
And Barnabas, did you have any luck?
Yes, I did.
Good. I take it we're not getting any elaboration.
Um, I have a plan, and I'm very, very happy about that.
I mean, I'm honestly just curious because I don't know how much you saw when you were wandering around the street of Love and Beauty, but my love languages are a little different.
The words "I have a plan" sound. Anytime I at least have said that, things happen.
Yeah, but this is Barnabas.
Barnabas plans better, and I'm hoping he doesn't encounter outside of his control shenanigans on the plan.
Well, look, basically, with the way the love language thing works out, he describes what the shop is. Her name is Svetlana, and the advice I got was outstanding. And I also got he holds up the book that's clearly already been like he was reading it while walking.
I'm just going to, as I'm
Alice.
getting up, elevate the those were muffins. This is just the muffin package that's specifically for Barnabas, just directly up behind it. For you.
And
Oh.
while Barnabas is taking the muffins, Alice takes the book. Yoink. Flip, flip. Ooh. Don't worry, I'll give it back in a second.
That's fine. I'll
You bought Barnabas muffins? Or no, that grin says that you did not buy Barnabas muffins. You are just the delivery person.
Oh.
Yes. For I
They
am the
come
messenger.
from-
Up to an word's gotten around. Up to and including to the place that I had to resolve the dispute for. That was weird. Still, I could not get over that. Either way, went there, got directed to a bunch of cool stuff, and then was also handed more of those to foist onto you. And also, I then got directed to another place, and I'm handing Clarity the box of chocolates. This happened. There's a lot. That's all I managed to understand. It is a lot.
Flip, flip, flip. Yeah, according to this, what kinds of chocolates are in there? Clarity, I'm just gonna say because Hazel is relatively observant, she will have got your favorites, so by all means.
Did you? She gives her a kiss.
Cleric is delighted. Cleric is actually Studio Ghibli in delight right now.
Well, I'm sure that you will want to borrow this book off Barnabas, but gives it back to him, and we should probably head out.
Yes.
Last thing
Yeah.
we want is to be late.
Indeed.
Agreed.
Tardiness is unbecoming after all.
And then we come back here, we get dressed, and we do the thing. And as they're walking, so hopefully, I mean, does anybody want me to be doing makeup things at them?
Maybe a little.
I.
Might have to pick up a couple of things when we're on our way back, because there is Dragonborn specific makeup, but not really in my current kit. But I know that there's a couple of places on the street of Love and Beauty that do that kind of thing. So we'll stop there on the way back, and we'll go through a color palette for you. The only reason I know this is because we had a copper Dragonborn working at the Tipsy Pixie for a little while, and I learned from her a bit. And, not too much of a walk, but you're not early, but you've got a couple of minutes before the actual 4 o'clock. And Cherie is at the desk, gives you all a little smile. If you'd like to take a seat. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I should take a seat.
All I'll say is just, and you guys call me and Ree adorable.
We are all complete and total Dorcases. This is how this works.
Yeah.
Remy covertly offers Barnabas.
Fist bump.
It takes him a second because Barnabas was not listening to anything you guys were saying.
And the half orc who brought you in the last time during the actual trial, just opens up the door and guys, and I'll say literally nudges Barnabas, just like, come on, business.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes and yes.
And this time, the chamber of judgment is by and large empty. The only people that are in there are Behirzat and Lady Justice. You've got to imagine that a knowledge domain cleric would probably be in on this kind of thing. And a very small gnome who is writing impossibly fast. So clearly taking notes. You probably would have noticed this individual the last time, but there were too many people. And now you just see little gnome in corner.
Haste spell?
But here's that no.
Just the look of, oh no.
Now, some of you know this better than others, but we have by and large tried to keep the people who know of our true natures to a minimum. That is no longer an option. Now, granted, at least part of that is down to me. I should not have let that go on as long as it did. But, unfortunately, plausible deniability was something I required at the time, specifically because of what I am. Clearly, however, this was something that could not be resolved any other way. Not without a great deal more death. However, I am not the least charitable of my siblings when it comes to this sort of thing. I'm not the most charitable either, if that helps you at all. However, the fact remains that I have very little to say about it simply because I am at the epicenter of this. I understand the situation, and I understand that there was little choice. Not as things progressed. I admit I had been hoping that this would have been resolved a little less loudly, I suppose, but these things happen. I do not, in the current climate, have leisure to give the full and proper explanation that my siblings deserve. And more to the point, for one reason or another, and in one tone or another, they are all asking you, as a group, to, I believe, the harshest terminology used was get their asses down here and explain themselves. The others also want to either speak to you or hear from you. I am not sure. However, point is, you will need to travel to the other provinces and speak to the governors. One reason or another, they all wish to speak to you. I'm just waiting to see if anyone has anything to say about any of this.
There's been times that they've gathered in person or communicated magically as a group, but were to see them individually.
Yes, otherwise I would have simply gone through the mirrors the way you spoke to us the first time. Would I have specified the need to travel to them if it was all right to speak to them as a group?
Fair enough.
One thing I'm not sure I understand is your true nature has been revealed, but why does that mean theirs has it?
Ava's getting this look like, but really?
Known to be related in some fashion. The what was not known, though now people are going to start putting two and two together by themselves.
Additionally, while the chromatics are, by and large, the more greedy, dangerous, and destructive, dragons of all types have a certain amount of territoriality about them. If I were the only one, you've seen the color that I am. We tend to prefer solitude and a great deal of space. If I had not made a deal with beings of my power level or above, why would I have allowed other provinces under someone else's rule? It's a matter of fairly simple common sense. Additionally, in Cal, everyone suspects that Cal is something. So they're going to put two together there. Hial has been less than good about aging his human form. Viev lives far too much up north to really bother with that many precautions most of the time. 1 minute she's a dragonborn, 1 minute she's a human. It depends. And then there's Kreia, who is probably the one that people would less assume was a dragon if it were not for her temper.
He's going to try to eat us.
Possibly.
Terrified squeak.
I have tried to talk to her. I will continue to try to talk to her. But at this point, it's a matter of politesse, manners. This has changed things, and I have a feeling you haven't received a proper answer to this question, but then again, I'm not sure it's ever been asked. Why we hide in the first place. It's not. It's partly because we prefer it because we don't want to rule by the talon, by the fist. It's also because we do have our protections. Up until recently, very, very recently, no one from certain cults has had any idea of the driving force behind those protections. Now they know, which means they know the limitations of them. In summary, we were trying to keep it a mystery so that we would be less likely to be attacked. And now that we are a nation of 5 chromatics, with a Tiamat-driven, soul-tainting cult, we will be targets. Because please remember, Tiamat is not fond of Bahamut or any of his children. None of this was simply to inconvenience anyone. This was for the safety of our people.
That is very understandable.
I am not one to place undue blame. You did the best you could with what you had, which was not much. Unfortunately, this tag, and more to the point, it appears, this Jessamy, outmaneuvered everyone. I, however, am only one of the 5. I am not the most forgiving, but neither am I the least forgiving. You know which one the least forgiving is. Be careful. Be polite. And consider the order in which you will be taking these visits carefully. Think about who you would least want to offend, and probably do that first. However, despite all of that, which I admit is an issue, and something you all did need to know, you brought... Well, you didn't bring to light the problem. I knew there was a problem, but you highlighted how bad the problem was. And you, at least in part, brought the means to resolve it. For that, you have my thanks.
Aye.
Miss Earthheart, you had intentions of sending some of our young orphaned aasimar. And Lady Justice gets up, hobbles to a door, and opens it. And each one of these kids has effectively a wheelbarrow the various bits and pieces that Hazel could not get because she wasn't sure how it could be hauled. The various bits of specialized fertilizer, couple of what look like bottles of concentrated plant food, and in one of theirs, you know where you can get the young trees in a little bag? Well, that it appears to be growing pomegranates.
Eyes the size of dinner plates, and clearly, like I don't, my eyes can't get any wider if I tried, and they're trying.
And following behind them are a couple of goats. And actually, probably also a couple of sheep. The one that usually does the Nirm, who is sort of trying to herd dog them with the wheelbarrow, is going. We don't. These are the ones we didn't have any place to take, and besides, we do really good quality wool, and it'll be interesting to see the cross breedings. They said. And we can run real fast.
Somewhere between. I don't go quite hypersonic, but there's just an extended squeaking noise.
Hazel, yeah, Ava does manage to cover the mouth, but does kind of get nudged to the side as all four kids glom onto Hazel.
I. Thank you.
Well, thank you for letting us have someplace to stay. Then they pad over to Alice, and they don't glomp exactly, but just whoop. It actually kneels down and arms and wings. The hyperactive one runs over to Hazel and is like, "Is it true there's like 12 kids?"
At least, yeah. You
And-
buds
and-
are going to add to that number, so.
And they sew things and they make things and
Farm stuff, yes.
but Alice said that you've got a gnome and a dwarf who want to open up a clothes and jewelry shop.
Yeah, because for it, we do all the farm stuff, and that leads into the other.
And there's a little girl who's training to be a paladin already, all by herself.
I'm honestly starting to wonder
Darwin is
if
flat
she's
up,
found
just
a way to take
staring
down
up.
a tree yet.
And apparently there's a little bitty gnome who can teach us how to be sneaky if we want. Because if somebody with that much red and that much ear can be sneaky, so can little golden us.
That is correct. Though the one with more details about that is probably Darvin over there.
We're just trying to get everything straight because the captain used to say that all bards are liars.
just a snorting noise, and I'm just hair ruffle.
All I'll say is just like.
Yes, Evan is amazing. You will love him.
And and bards embellish, but I don't have to with Hearthhome.
Yeah, Hearthhome kind of just happens. That's the thing. Where a lot of places will like a lot of like places or organizations or places or setups like that specifically are meant for what home does. They get called in, they go around, they go looking. Hearthhome doesn't. Hearthhome just happens to people.
Like it happened to the big moose with wings?
Yes.
Why does moose have wings?
It's a long
I'm
story.
gonna point at Remy and Alice, say them.
Yeah, I unfortunately I got kind of hauled away before I could explain that one. We needed Legolas to get us to someplace a little bit safe to sleep for the night, and we also needed him to be safe. So, you remember when I said that I had the magic circlet thing that gave me these? Well, I put it on Legolas and I asked for it for one day, and that happened. But there was a bit of an accident, and Ziriel, you've met Ziriel, the really big guy. He let it extend another day, and then remember when I told you about the really smart, really cute tiefling? Well, she is so smart and so cute that she attracted the attention of an archfey. Really powerful fae who is set over the mischievous and the whimsy and the cute and the sweet and the everything. And she thought it would be funny if Legolas had wings all the time. And so, without explaining it to anybody at first, just made sure that Legolas kept the wings. And it finally told Clarity because she knew that Clarity would only divulge that information when it was funniest.
Which is exactly what happened.
And the kids are just giggling at this point. So, Hazel, you want to dump your various bits and pieces in the...
Yeah.
She goes down on one knee in front of the kids and minor wince, but plucks a feather from her wings for each of them. When I come back, we stop by every so often. When I come back, we'll have a talk about the things you can do, because I know you weren't encouraged to use any of it, and you're probably too young for some of it. But I can at least tell you what to expect. I didn't have that growing up, and I know it's hard. So, more. But here's that. Just been watching this somewhat indulgently. Your door, Miss Arthard?
And basically going to beeline to wherever I got pointed at door-wise.
Well, there's a couple of them, and you can just use the door they came in through. So,
Right, everybody ready?
they're sort of poised like boxcar racers.
The key into door open, crackling energy.
Yeah, and barrel in. Unfortunately, because this is just kids with the key didn't really account for livestock. So the last thing you see before the door stops being the portal door is the sheep and the goats rampaging into the Hearthheart living space.
That's all I managed to get out before the thing just portal's gone.
Well, probably in the middle of the portal gone, so it probably got cut off halfway through. So
and the gate's gone. Oh dear.
It's Twilly and Miranda. I'm pretty sure they've had to deal with worse than a couple of sheep and goats in that room.
Yeah. Yeah, I can confirm that.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say most of it was probably you, but most of it was probably you.
So I can confirm that there may or may not have been a bear.
Oh, God.
It had to have been a baby bear because a grown bear could not fit through that fucking door. You thought it was a teddy bear and brought it home for hugs, didn't you?
I can definitely.
Maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
possibly.
That is such a Hazel thing.
Wait. Did you
was
take?
fluffy.
Did you take a baby bear from its mother?
Oh,
No, I think that one was just as lost as I was at the time, and instead of going home to where it was supposed to go,
It followed
I
you.
was hugging it so much that I didn't let go.
Oh.
And
Mhm.
while I was headed back, and then she figured out where I was, did not let go of Bear.
Oh boy.
Mm.
I would bet, and this is just a thing, that knowing how things work in your household, I imagine that Twilly and Miranda very calmly removed the bear from you, and then Miranda took that thing to the door, opened it, and looked at angry Mama Bear, and then just put it down and shut the door. Because Miranda be like that. And bears have a good sense of smell.
More than likely.
You don't remember that part, do you?
Don't remember that better exactly. I just remember hearing the door open, hearing a humph, and then the door shutting.
Yeah, it's good to know that your life follows that kind of comedic narrative.
I was very tiny and still kind of stupid.
I'm gonna ask Miranda how long that bear slept on the top of your house.
Squeak.
But we apparently have tours and things, and it looks at here's that. Sorry, we be like this. I This is better than most of the court cases I have to deal with, so I will persevere. In any case, was there anything else?
I'm looking to everyone else.
Very well, your
Thank you for your help out there.
Of course. Now your booking at the World Over is at 6:30. Transportation has been arranged.
Thank you.
I hope you were intending on dressing.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Absolutely.
Very well then. You will have to make an appointment if you need to speak to me again. But I understand you have an in with my chief secretary, so.
Turns to Barnabus.
That is error.
That's the thing, but here's that is almost smiling. Almost. Probably as close as this individual comes. And then just gives a go away kind of.
Clearly enjoying our nonsense, but not going to say a damn word.
Well, it's a bit like Darwin when he was dealing with Ryland's explanation about the magic 8-ball thing. It's the I am being stern because you're doing this in a fucking courtroom, but I'm also trying not to laugh.
We're going to get the hell out of the way.
And yeah, I'm assuming off you head.
Off,
Yep.
off to head.
Oh, that went better than it could have, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm inclined to agree.
So, easiest one. My money's on either going directly north or going to Agraf.
We don't want to start with the easiest one.
You want to start
Yes.
with the Anbir one.
Yes, it'll
He-
be
he-
insulting.
He he literally told us to be careful about who we insult.
Mm-hmm.
And the ones who are easiest are the ones who are chill about it. The ones we need to talk to
Yeah.
first are the ones who aren't.
With the least chill being
You know who the least chill is.
the one who's likely to eat us all, yes.
Thankfully, we had teleportation circles, so we don't have to necessarily go in any kind of order.
Yep.
If you want my opinion, Creabandis, Hjal Fortinbras, Vievaled, and then Calatiel.
That sounds good.
You probably know the low and the high group.
It's not the knowing them, it's the overall how they've been thus far. Creabandis is built to take offense. Hjal Fortinbras is, given they were talking about, now being a bit more of a target from things. Hjal Fortinbras is the one who gets all the reports from the mercenaries he runs. So he probably kind of wants something from us in terms of explanation, reassurances, because we've just made his troops' lives harder as well as him.
It sounds like he wants the equivalent of a battle report.
That or, whatever military discipline happens, I don't know. But I don't think Viev will be upset, but she's also the one nearest to Kragvir, which is where we keep hearing some of the nasties happening.
Yeah.
So
Looks
she,
like that.
She probably deserves to not be last.
Mm-hmm.
And Egref lets us check in on how they're doing with reopening the connections between Cabreval and Gray's Inn. We haven't checked on that, so.
Yeah, Gray's Inn isn't still.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. We haven't been back since.
The nearest we got was
Black Crown, and to be fair, we didn't even see much of that.
well, we were, remember when we were contending with Aradel, that did involve us going near it, at least until the barony.
Well, no, I mean,
So
after
far.
we dealt with Veridel, because that
Oh, right.
him no longer being there would have changed things. But we haven't been back since.
Yeah, there's hopefully some melt at least.
It just wouldn't hurt to have a look-see.
Agreed.
But for now, we're just not going to think about it.
Yeah.
Instead we're going to have our celebration dinner and look expectantly at the dress Farad is so excited about. Which, yes, we have to go by the Street of Love and Beauty.
Yes.
Back to our
Yes, we're
main
going to see
thoroughfare for this
Creabandis
entire
first.
trip, it seems.
Well, once we're done here, sorry, but while she does deserve to know first, she does not get to interrupt things we need to do. Besides, Barnabus has a second date. I'm not depriving him that.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Also fair.
Thank you.
Punch on the shoulder. And she does stop at that particular studio and just they put it in the front fucking window. I managed to commission this before they nabbed me and threw me in the in the settlement. We have
Gorgeous.
little lockets of them. Pulls a click, silent image of that. And we're I did manage to sneak a print of that because I figured Twilly and Miranda would have wanted something along those lines. And we got another one for the in-laws. The fee I took for letting it be on display, I just didn't know it was going to be that on display. And they find again, this is high-end cosmetic shop layout kind of thing, and they do have it arranged for a variety of different skin tones. Uh, up to and including metallic scale. But it's probably one of the few kinds of places that Clarity could actually find makeup that works without an awful lot of blending. Because when Alice did hers the first time, it took some blending. But, Alice asked a couple of questions like what color the dress is, just so she can compliment.
Yeah.
But obviously doesn't ask for too many
Yeah.
details because she can tell that Faraday wants to do a big reveal.
Yeah, so Faraday will give fairly basic answers there.
Yeah, and like I say, she's not asking for anything more. Just general color and looks the face over and various bits of. I mean, obviously, you don't really get anything in the way of lipstick because you don't really have lips.
Yeah.
But they do have an interesting range of eyeshadows and that kind of thing, and literal talon polish. It doesn't tend to go in the bright reds or anything along those lines. It's either more metallic colors or in and around the grayish metal tinges. But after listening to what you said about the accents on the dress, she goes with a sort of a whitish metallic purple shade that would match the lightning strikes that turn up on your dress from time to time. So, and if you want, because like I say, I can see you wanting to make a big reveal, and if you don't mind my only having half of it, I can doll you up and you
Darwin
can
is squeeing.
present yourself fully done up.
I wasn't thinking big reveal, just reveal.
But
Just
I'm a bard. You gotta do it.
That's
Go all
fair.
out.
That's fair.
I will doll you up in private, and you can have whatever kind of reveal you want after that. But you'll have the full picture.
Thank you.
And everybody else can kind of wait, because we haven't seen. You're the only one of us we haven't seen in formal wear of some description. You had something relatively fancy. Relatively. And honestly, to be honest, I'm kind of leaving you out of it mildly because I don't think you're ready for reveals yet. You went, as far as I can tell, you went shopping with Darwin, baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, back in and everybody into various bits of finery. But when she's going to do Faraday's makeup, she says, "I admit, also part of it was that nobody's actually seen my dress yet either. So you go first though, because I want you to have all the attention to start with. I get enough of it day to day." But yeah, she basically makes the eyes look sort of bigger and bluer and does the talons so that actually really pretty. Not that much you can do with with Dragonborn, but
Yeah.
mostly what you get is a certain amount of. It's like like when you have a facial and you get exfoliated and your skin looks really nice. It's kind of like that, but almost scale polishy kind of thing. So you are shiny and eye emphasized and that kind of thing. So yeah, you go and I'll get myself fixed up.
Okay.
And yeah, you get Faraday coming downstairs in a dress that looks like she is wearing a storm, and this is adult Faraday looking.
Oh damn!
I mean,
Very
it's
nice.
in the shop, but that's even better.
Oh. It,
Uh,
Flitty kind of disengages from the scarf and murmuring in Sylvan, I think she needs the emotional support fairy dragon right now. And onto Faraday's shoulder, and this time in Draconic, you look real pretty. You've just taken away all their words. In the good way, this time.
I took away my own.
Oh, you can all just bask in the pretty. Snuggle.
Very yes. 100%. Yes. 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 That's the only appropriate reaction I can have right now.
I appreciate it.
Lovely.
I don't know how to react to compliments properly.
Alice comes down the stairs in mostly red with white accents, gown kind of thing. Somewhere in not too slinky, but not hazel puffy either. Sort of a nice middle ground, but somewhat shiny, almost satiny silk. So it's more of a tactile than anything else, with a little sunburst embroidery along the neckline. It kind of does the halter top kind of deal, because obviously. You say thank you, you blush, and when it gets to be too much, because sometimes it does get to be too much, uh, you tell them, okay, 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 don't give me a swelled head.
Okay.
But that's only when you're getting really, really uncomfortable with it, because you do deserve all the compliments. You look great.
Thank you.
And good choice on the dress, seriously. Right. I am going to do makeup for the puffy one first. Come here, you.
Uh-oh.
And you know,
Look of immediate look shifts from delight at this whole situation to concern, and then just gets dragged away.
well, not away. It's just sort of in chair. And yeah, she does. She does the makeup, and she also does the hair in the same kind of braid around the head that, had she but known it, Nora used to wear. But with the bow sort of down around the bottom, and the bits of green from the ribbon winding in and among the braid, so it looks a little different.
I've still got essentially bow ears.
Well, no, it's more towards the bottom, so it's more fairy dragon wings around the neck.
Uh, um, if I were to start, uh, we'd be here all night. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that works. Lovely. We'll go with that because, wow.
I am assuming that was directed to something that was said 5 minutes ago.
Oh no.
Yeah. We're we are getting towards the end of the session anyway, so we'll leave it at, not quite leave it, but we're winding to the end now. But after she's dealt with Hazel, she does anybody else who wants the bits of makeup done. And not very long after, there's a knock at the door, which Nyala goes and gets. Well, doesn't even seem to look at you when she walks by, but still says, Well, that's some fancy I haven't seen since Chance's domain. Nice. And then opens the door, and then your ride's here.
Thank you.
And yeah, what
Right.
you have, you remember how impressed you were by the limo carriage that you got to your court date? This
Hmm.
one's fancier.
Oh boy.
Oh wow.
This one is this one is royalty and movie star limo kind of thing.
I don't know how or where to even sit down. This is too fancy.
Yeah, but you're in your fancy clothes, so you're fine.
I get that.
For
Uh,
once, I am not the most confused about something. This is a weird
Mhm.
thing.
Alice
I am
just
just
steps in.
error.
Alice just steps into the limo and heaves Hazel into a chair.
Hazel, you were just getting manhandled today.
Sometimes you just need to move the cleric. Not eat the cleric, just move the cleric.
I'm still just kind of in the same position, just kind of. Oh no.
At which point, Alice rummages around through the minibar, opens up a small bottle, pours deep red contents, hands it to
Ah,
Hazel. Pomegranate wine, drink it.
not the word I'd use.
Yeah, that's going down the hatch.
And on that note, can somebody please type to Ethan that we're winding the session up because he's going to end up answering to bits and pieces that we said quite some time ago.
Mhm.
This is going to be a problem if this keeps being this bad. But we will end the session for the moment with you guys riding in really fancy limo carriage to what is reputed to be the best restaurant on the continent in a place that has already flabbergasted you like continuously with its food. So I'm going to have some fun with this one. And then we'll go on from there to putting you through the various bits of the various flavors of torment that the remainder of the five claws of Bahamut can put you through. And please think about anything else you might want to be doing in Anbir and point surrounding before we move you to elsewhere. Thank you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks.